So this is your first hunt. And you've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe. You're after a creature that can't be killed. The definitive apex predator.
I could help you.
Well, good luck with your journey.
Aloha. It's Trinidad the Islandman, your Islandman, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the Island One, bringing you, yes, you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad the Islandman, your Islandman. And last night, opening night, well, sneak preview of the new movie that's opening up this weekend, Predator Badlands. I went in and I saw it, and, well, remember our review? Remember our recommendations? Shock a thumbs up. It's good to see. I recommend it. Shock a thumbs down. It's junk. I don't recommend it. And for Predator Badlands, starring Elle Fanning and I believe newcomer Demetrius Schultz, Coco Thamaji? I'm not sure about how you pronounce that, but it's something like that. Basically, he plays the Predator, and Elle Fanning plays Thea, the Yutani android, Wayland Yutani android from the Alien series. So this officially is linking Predator and Aliens all in the same universe. And, well, basically what we have here, it is a shock a thumbs up all the way. This has lots of action, pretty good story as well. Definitely something to look at as far as family. You know, Deck, the Predator, has a strong relationship with his brother and a tedious one with his father, whereas Thea really doesn't have much of a relationship with Mother, you know, the head computer or whatever, for most of the Wayland Yutani androids, all the way back from the very first Aliens movie. And turns out, you know, the strong bond that she thought she had with her sister turns out to sour very quickly. But I digress. This is a story of a young Predator. Basically, Deck is a smaller, he's the runt of the litter pretty much. And as such, he is to be killed by his brother, but when his brother refuses, his father demands his death, and thus the only way that he can regain his honor is to go on a hunt of great magnitude. And thus he goes to Gemma, the planet of death, to fight and bring back a trophy of the unkillable creature called the Kalisk. Now this is something that predators have gone after for years, and no one has come back alive. So, but he wants to be the first, and it's the only thing that would secure his position in the clan of his family. When he gets there, things go suddenly awry, well, almost right from the start, as he crash lands on the planet. Fortunately, Elle Fanning is there. At least half of her is there, is the android, ready to lend him assistance so that he can, you know, find the Kalisk and defeat it, as she, sent by Wayland Yutani, had been on this planet for at least several months, cataloging all the creatures and whatnot. And thus she knows the terrain for the most part, and most of the creatures, including the Kalis that has ripped her in half, and Dak, in carrying her, gets her knowledge, and thus she can get to where her legs were thrown asunder over where the Calyx den is. So add to that some stress with the rest of the Wayland Yutani androids being there to also capture the Calyx, and thus you have a direct competition and conflict of interest between Dek and Thea, who have formed a bond, at least a working bond, a relationship with one another, of to say at the least of a union of convenience as they help one another along their journey. Yet what happens is a friendship builds. Dek, who is a loner, as most predators, finds the value of having assistance from others, and as Thea teaches her of Earth wolves, a pack is a stronger formation to hunt in than going solo. And thus we have the bonds forming very much throughout this movie, along with an extra creature, a pet that Dek and Thea pick up that they help save, and then it also saves them as well. So yes, this movie has a lot of action, almost to the point of, right from the get-go, we start off with a fantastic sword battle between Dek and his brother. What could only be compared to Jedi levels of action with swordplay, and their plasma swords. Very, I got the feeling of a very lightsaber-ish-like battle. So yes, it is very exciting. Some people have said that this is like a Disneyization, kind of a dumbing down or kidifying the Predators. It's like there's plenty of death, plenty of destruction in this movie. Sure, it's a lot of androids, but it's also a lot of living creatures, aliens on this planet. So there is that. You see a lot of blood, and as the directors and the producers have pointed out, it's not human blood, and thus they could get away with a PG-13, which I think could possibly help out the overall box office of this movie, as anyone under 18 can see it alone and without their parents, but yet still get the thrills and chills of the action adventure that Dek goes on along with the android. So yes, it is a strong shock, a thumbs up. The only thing that I think is lacking out of this movie is I stayed all the way through the credits. There is no end credit scene, so you don't need to wait for one. I was really hoping. What this feels like, if you've seen the animated version of Killer of Killers on Hulu or Disney Plus, this is what this feels like, but a live action version. And it wouldn't be hard to say that this is a continuation of this story. We may never get a live action version of Killer of Killers, but this is pretty darn close. As we have a trio, this pet that Dek picks up, Thea and Dek himself. There's those trio of heroes, and fighting against the very same head predator, which turns out to be Dek's father, that the three humans had gone up against in Killer of Killers. So it would have been nice to see some kind of solid connection, especially with Alien Earth. There is a loose connection right now, as Wayland Yutani has in Alien Earth gone out throughout the universe to collect these alien species, and thus not just xenomorphs, but strange other creatures, including some plant-like flora variety you know, death that we saw in Alien Earth several episodes, and that eyeball creature. We do not see the eyeball creature, but we see things like it on this planet of death of Jenna, which Wayland Yutani's androids have gone there to collect more species, just like the android and the human crew did in Alien Earth. So it's not hard to connect that with Alien Earth, so that Xenomorphs may be gotten to eventually through this series. Also, it's not hard to connect Killer of Killers. Again, like I said, the main bad guy of Killers of Killers, the Predator, the head, you know, head of the clan of that Predator, Killer of Killers, maybe the head chieftain, is Deck's father, wearing the same outfit, the horns of power, as you could say if you're thinking of the 13th Warrior. So yes, it is connected in that. Also, you know, Deck is kind of a runt. What I thought would be a good end credit scene, if not connecting it to Alien Earth solidly in Killer of Killers, or connecting it more with Killer of Killers, we could have seen maybe a, you know, Amber Mid-Thunder, maybe cut to her at the end, you know, kind of watching Deck or something like that, and thinking of recruiting him and his new team of Thea and his dog. They call him Buddy, basically. It's not really a dog. It's kind of a monkey-like dog kind of thing, I guess. I won't spoil it any further. But, you know, Amber Mid-Thunder could have made an appearance. That would have been very, very interesting as a, you know, as an Easter egg. Or what I'm thinking is, and now this is a little bit more outlandish, but go with me on this. At the end, we do see, you know, another ship coming for Deck, Thea, and his pet, or other friend. We see a big ship coming, looming in on the horizon, getting closer, and he says, "Oh, this is my mother," and bum, 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 you know, and then it cuts to the credits, basically. You know, like he's really worried about his mother. What if his mother was the human Viking that was left behind in Killer of Killers? Remember, the other two guys, the samurai and the World War II mechanic, got away on the ship, but only because the Viking lady stayed behind to fight the creature and free the ship from the tractor beam or whatever was holding it, so they could escape. What if, you know, now I'm not saying that, you know, the head chieftain had sex with a human woman and they're compatible and their offspring was Deck per se, but what if the head chieftain of the Predators said, "Hey, you know, I like her strength, I like her spirit, how about we mix some of that in my bloodline here," thinking that it would make him and his offspring more powerful, but instead he gets this smaller predator Deck, which is technically a runt, and, you know, shunned by the chieftain, head predator, you know, and basically, you know, it would explain his size, his lack of strength when compared to other larger predators. And it would also show his fighting spirit, being the descendant of this Viking woman, in some form or another, at least having some of her genetic material scientifically mixed, if, you know, if it's too much of a fathom to think of, you know, a predator and a human having sex, I guess. Like I said, that's a little far-fetched, so, but, I mean, you could see it possibly, and that would have made an interesting cameo if we had had a human version of the Killer of Killers Viking woman at the end of the show being seen. But again, overall, strong shock and thumbs up. Go ahead and see it, however, whenever you can. I saw it in 3D. You don't have to, but it just adds to the excitement. All right. Mahalo and aloha.